सच्चिदानंद विग्रह गोविंद सर्व कारण कारणम चिंतामणि प्रकर सत्म सुकल्प वृक्ष लक्षाभितेश सुरभिरभिपालयन्तम लक्ष्मी सहस्र शत संभ्रम सेव्यमानम गोविंदमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि वेणुपणन्तमरविन्ददलायताक्षं वरहावतं समसिराम्बुधसुन्दराङ्गं कन्दर्पकोटिकमनीय विशेषशोभं गोविन्दमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि रत्नाकरं प्रणयकेलिकलाविलासं श्यामं त्रिभङ्गललितं नियतं प्रकाशं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अङ्गानि यस्य सकलेन्द्रियवृत्तिमन्ति पश्यन्ति पान्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति आनन्दचिन्मय सदुज्ज्वल विग्रहस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अद्वैतमच्युतमनादिमनन्तरूपम् आद्यं पुराणपुरुषं नवयौवनं च वेदेषु दुर्लभमदुर्लभमात्मतत्त्वं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि।
हरे कृष्णा, हैप्पी नरसिंह चतुर्दशी। So humbly request in order. So first, four are initiated devotees. Please, if you are in couples, please come. And then elderly Matajis and Prabhujis, please come. And then Prabhujis and Matajis, couples first come, then individuals. Hare Krishna. In that order. ఎవరైనా ఇనిషియేషన్ తీసుకున్న వాళ్ళు ఉంటే ప్లీజ్ ముందుకు రండి ఫస్ట్. దాని తర్వాత పెద్దవాళ్ళు మాతాజీ ప్రభుజీ అయినా ఒకరు ప్రభుజీ మాతాజీ అయినా దాని తర్వాత ప్రభుజీ మాతాజీ ఆల్ టుగెదర్ కెన్ కమ్. ప్లీజ్ enthusiastically do abhishekam to Narasimha. Hari Bol.
यस्य जगदण्डशतानि सूते त्रैगुण्यतद्विषयवेदवितायमाना सत्त्वावलम्बि परसत्त्वविशुद्ध सत्त्वं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मयरसात्मतया मनस्सु यः प्राणिनां प्रतिफलं स्मरतामुपेत्य लीलायितेन भुवनानि जयत्यजस्रं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि ओ लोकनान्यजगत्कले च तस्य देवी महेश हरिधामसुरेषु देषु देवे प्रभामणि जया विहिताश्रयेण गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि सृष्टिप्रलयसाधनशक्तिरेका छायालयस्य कुवलानि बिभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपमपि यस्य सचेष्टते सा
Stand behind, not from your
तमहं भजामि क्षीरयथादधिविकाय विशेषयोगा सञ्जायते न हितः
First devotees పిలవండి మన బ్యాచ్
शम्भुतामपि तथा समुपैति
తర్వాత
भजामि दीपाचिरेव हितशान्तरमभुपेत्या दीपायते विवृतहेतुसमानधर्मा यस्तादृगेव निज विष्णुतया गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि कारणानवचरे भजति स्म योगा निद्रामनन्तजगदण्डसरोवभूपः आधारशक्तिमवलम्ब्य परां स्वमूर्तिं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्यैकनिश्वसितकालमवलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविदजातकण्डनाः विष्णुर्महान् सैन्यस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आसान्यथाश्वशकलेषु निजेषु तेजः स्वीयं कियत् प्रकटयन्नपि तत्त्वदत्र ब्रह्माय एष जगदण्डविधानकर्ता गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यत्पादपल्लवयुगं विनिधाय कुम्भः वन्दे प्रणामसमये सगणाधिराजा विघ्नान् विहन्तु बलमस्य जगत्त्रयस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अग्निर्मही गगनः पुमरुद्दिशश्च कालस्तथात्ममनसीति जगत्त्रयाणि यस्माद्भवन्ति विभवन्ति विशन्ति यं च गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यज्जुरेश समिता सकलग्रहाणा राजा समस्तसुरमूर्तिरशेषतेजा यस्याज्ञया भ्रमति संवृतकालचक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि धर्मोऽधपापनिचयश्रुतयः समांसि ब्रह्मादिकीटपदगावधयश्च जीवा यद्दत्तमात्रविभवप्रकटप्रभावा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं भजामि यस्मिन्द्रगोपमधवेन्द्रमहोत्सवकर्मा बन्धानुरूपफलभाजनमातनोति कर्माणि कीर्तहति किन्तु च भक्तिभाजा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यन्त्रोऽधकामसहजप्रणयादिबीजी वात्सल्यगौरवसेव्यभावै सञ्चिन्तकस्य दृश्यं तनुवापुरेते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि श्रीरकान्तानाथो सच्चिदानन्दं ज्योतिर्परमपवित्रमास्वाद्यमपि च स यत्र क्षीराब्धि सर्वलिङ्गलीयश्च सुमहान् निमेषार्धाख्यो वा व्रजति नहि यत्रापि समयः भजे श्वेतदीपं तमहिलोकमिति विदग्धस्ते Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
We are very fortunate that today we have Giriraj Govardhan here. Giriraj is here. It's very rare. Don't think that Giriraj can just come anywhere, any place. Swayam Krishna. Our Goswami said there is no difference between Giriraj and Krishna. So right now, the Shila that you have here, if you are doing Abhishekam or Narasimha and especially Giriraj, you are doing it on directly on Lord Krishna. You should have that, There is no difference. So don't think it is a representation of Krishna. It is Swayam Krishna. Giriraj Govardhan Bhagwan ki, Narasimha Bhagwan ki, Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagwan ki, प्रहलाद महाराज की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, Sai Gaur Premanand. After the whole program is over, we all will do Giriraj Pradakshin also. Okay? And then we'll keep after the whole program. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama
गिरिराज का माला हरि बोल। सबको बांटो, सबको बांटो।
लोगों में प्लेस चूज करिए। हाँ प्लस फैन
डिले अभी दिख रहा है
क्लियर करना पड़ा।
ओके ప్రాబ్లం పడుకుని వాటర్ పర్లేదు हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णाय श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी की, श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, साई गौर हरि प्रेमानंद। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीगुरुं साग्रजातं सद्गुणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सद्गुणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Giriraj Govardhan is here, Narasimha is here, Radha Mother Mohan deities are here. So let us chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya as loudly, as heartfully as possible. मेरे बोलने के बाद ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Let's together chant the mantra here. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiyate Nashkatareshu Advareshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naisiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Namah Pankajanaಭಾಯ Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangare Namo Mahakanyaya Krishna Premapradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurakrishne Namah. Namo Brahmanyaya Devaya Brahmanahitaya Jagadivaaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Veshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Karo Sivachalam Pangulangaya Nigrim Preparatamam Mande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Ishwaram Chaitanya Ishvara, Brahmananda. Om Pavitro Pavitro Sarvavastam Jatopiva Yat Swaret Narikakshya Sahapya Pyansam Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Center and welcome to Sri Narasimha Chaturdashi Festival and appearance of Radha Madan Mohan deities here. Let us loudly welcome Varshuram Prabhu. Varshuram Prabhu is here from ISKCON Pune and Mataji. Forgot to name Mataji, please forgive me. So let us welcome Varshuram Prabhu and Mataji with three loud and enthusiastic. Because of their mercy and the daughter who is here, we have Giriraj here today. We have got. We are so fortunate to have these deities here. Swayam Giriraj. So we all are, experiencing troubles in life, right? Sometimes emotionally, sometimes physically, sometimes spiritually also. Right? So today is a very special day where all the troubles combined are being removed by Sri Narasimha. And Narasimha has also brought, he has himself appeared as Giriraji also. And the deities, small deities that you see, their name is also Radha Madan Mohan. So all of them have come here to bless all of us. So I don't know what to speak today. What is there to speak when God himself is sitting here? Right? So first 10 minutes or 15 minutes now, we are going to spend intensely chanting a mantra 108 times, where we'll pray for our soul respectively, for why we are here, and we'll also pray for all the souls who are struggling in this material life, that we all make progress in Bhakti and eventually go back to Krishna. Right? So this mantra all of you already know. Ukram Veeram Mahavishnu Jalantam Sarvatokam Narasimham Deshanam Bhadram Rutyam Namami. I read the meaning of this. And then somebody can keep a count and we'll chant 108. May my head be protected by the moon colored one who is the greatest among humans. My obeisances unto the ferocious and powerful, the great Vishnu, the fiery one, whose faces are on all sides, the fearful one, Narasimha, who causes the death of even death personified, who can overcome death. Beyond our understanding, how can you kill death or rather stop death? Yeah, so Lord Narasimha can do this. So this is a great opportunity. We can chant this mantra every day, but we chanting together in a congregational way is more liking to the Lord. Right? And we also chant once the first mantra. You can chant with me. Shri Narasimha, Jai Narasimha, Jai Jai Narasimha, Naladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Branga. All glories to Lord Narasimha Dev, all glories to Lord Narasimha Dev, who is the Lord of Prahlad Maharaj, and like the honeybee is always engaged in beholding the lotus-like face of the goddess of fortune. Shri Narasimha, Jai Narasimha, Jai Jai Narasimha Dev, Prahladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma Branga. Let us thank His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, without whose mercy we would have never been introduced to these mantras also. What to speak of, this kind of program that we are attending today. Like, how many of you have seen something like this in your life before coming to ISKCON? And how many of you got an opportunity to Swayam do the Abhishek? Right? Very rare. We see, oh, somebody is doing Abhishek, but this is a mercy of Srila Prabhupada that he has taken Jagannath to every street in this whole world, and he has also taken Narasimha to all the places, and he has given protection to the whole world. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so are we all ready? Yes. Let's chant together. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Dalatam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Dalatam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Dalatam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityo Ramanyam Ugram Veeram Vishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam
नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम्
Last 3 times.
उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम् उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नरसिंहं भीषणं भद्रं मृत्युर्नमाम्यहम्।
श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, नरहरि की जय, लक्ष्मी नरसिंह स्वामी भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद नरसिंह की जय, अहोबिल नरसिंह की जय, यादाद्रि नरसिंह की जय, मायापुर उग्र नरसिंह की जय, गौर प्रेमानंद हरे कृष्णा। Feels nice? Feels excellent, feels amazing. और क्या चाहिए? We all together have chanted Ugram Viram Mahaviష్णु Jvalantam Sarvatomukham Narasimham Bhishanam Bharadram Mrityurnamamyaham. Now, everybody, can you see your finger? This finger? Try to keep in front of you. If it touches the ground means you are occupying extra space. That is the measure. It should not be able to touch the ground. Okay? So please everybody come forward. All Matajis also. Please come forward. If somebody is very tensed or angry, there is a special spot. We have water flowing. That place you can see. Nice Abhishek will happen. Please everybody. There are many standing outside. You know, we want every devotee to get space. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah, your finger is able to touch. That is the measuring point. Enough space, hai? Enough space? Yeah. Please come close to me, please. Sometimes being a driver or a speaker, the advantage is you get your own seat. Hare Krishna. Lord Narasimha Dev has appeared just to please his devotee. There was no other reason for him. And when he appeared, of course, we all know Leela. We want to read the Leela. Today I thought we'll just read the Leela nicely. Right? Because everybody should read the Leela today. We read the translation. And then a little bit of discussion. Right? And we also have some special announcements and special videos to see. And we have special announcements also. So I'll not take too much time. So when Lord Narasimha appeared and he did whatever he did, he finished Hiranyakashipu. Then Prahlad Maharaj was amazed. And suddenly Prahlad Maharaj is epitome of respectfulness. He has all the best qualities. And then he remembered, Are Nakshim there? I did not even offer you water when you came. That's the minimum etiquette, right? If somebody comes to the house, you offer water. And I did not even offer you seat to sit. Right? And I did not even offer you a garland. My Lord, my most dear Lord, you have appeared, Sri Vishnu. I could not offer all this. And then he said, You are so merciful. I did not offer you water, you drank my father's blood. I did not offer you garland, you garlanded his intestines. And I did not offer you seat. You created your own seat at the doorstep. And you kept my father on your lap. Oh Lord, how merciful you are. And sleeping in his thighs, Hiranyakashipu is also saying, how merciful you are. Lakshmi Devi can only touch your feet. Fighting with you, I touch you everywhere. I am more fortunate than Lakshmi Devi. How merciful you are. Narasimha Devi is just looking at both. Jai Vijay, his own devotee, who has come to fulfill his desire. He is looking at Prahlad Maharaj and he is so happy. Of course, he is not happy with Brahma. Right? This Brahma created an insurance policy that nobody can break. Comprehensive insurance policy. Though people tried to. When Prahlad Maharaj was being troubled, it was not a good scene for any of the Devatas. All the Devatas knew he is a pure devotee, pure Vaishnava who has appeared. So what we'll do today, for the pleasure of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who has given the translations, who has given purports, but we will not be going to purport, but let us read the translations of some of the main chapters, and then maybe we will have a little bit of discussion. Is that okay?
Yes.
Where is the second mic? Okay, it is there. So now I am going to keep the translation. Each one will read one. How is that? Right? Hare Krishna. Jai. So first we'll go to chapter 5, where the whole Leela starts. Text 22. Srila Prabhupada has given lectures. Most of Srila Prabhupada's lectures are 20-25 minutes. That much dosage is enough from Prabhupada. But there is a Narasimha Chaturdashi lecture of Srila Prabhupada where Prabhupada spoke for 1 hour and 12 minutes. You should hear that lecture. Right? And in that lecture, Prabhupada chose from verse number 22 to verse number 34 from this chapter. So that is the reason. Oh, it's not appearing? Why is it not appearing? Wait a second. PowerPoint problem. Yeah. Yes, now it will appear. So I'll read the first one because I love Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu said, My dear Prahlad, my dear son, O long-lived one, for so much time you have heard many things from your teachers. Now please repeat to me whatever you think is the best of that knowledge. Now whoever is going to speak, show some emotions also. The condition is, don't take the nahi chalega. Okay? Chalo, next problem.
Now Prahlad Maharaj says, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities of paraphernalia and pastime of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 type of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming His servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto Him, in other words, serving Him with the body, mind and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna, though through these 9 methods, should be understood to the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge.
I think you should recite this verse also. It's very famous. One of Prabhupada's very favorite verse. Chalo. Sri Prahlada Uvacha. Get together, recite this. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Swaranam Bhavasevanam Arthanam Shukranam Sasyam Satyam Matru Nivedanam Eki Guna Vishnu It's like, just imagine, our soldier is on the border of Pakistan, and the opposite side, that fellow is like ferocious and he's completely a demoniac person. Like, I know that goal of my life is to kill all of you. And says, no. Your goal of life is Shravanam Kirtan. Right? Prahlad Maharaj is saying this verse to a demoniac person who is complete atheist. And in that lecture, Prabhupada talks about the greatness of Narasimha. He specifically appears for atheists. Because if you don't accept God, with your devotion, then he appears as death. Right? For all the atheistic people. They will see God, whether they come to satsang or no. But they'll see God like Narasimha. Right? Very scary, very fearful, not at all blissful. But if you see Narasimha as a devotee, how nice, how beautiful, how confident you'll become. There is one devotee in New Jersey. There are many pastors of Narasimha. I just remembered this. In New Jersey, that Mataji was supposed to bring prasadam to New York City. New Jersey and New York City are quite nearby. She forgot to get the prasadam. Now, not just little prasadam, for the whole satsang, something like that happened. And she completely forgot. And by the time she reached New York, she remembered, I didn't load the prasadam. She was in a hurry, right? And then she rushed back, right, to her house. And the program is already starting and she has to bring. Then she loaded all the prasadam and apparently nobody else was there. She alone was there. And on the way, she was driving and a fearful accident happened. Right? The car was completely crushed apart. It flew in the air. But even the police was surprised. Nothing happened to that mother. Just nothing happened. She was, she flew out from the car and she just went and sat on the side. And people couldn't believe because the way the car was, the way the highway was, the way whatever happened, it's impossible that somebody can survive. Right? And then she said, when that accident happened, she could hear the roar of a lion. It's a true incident. She could hear it like that, big roar she could hear. And then she closed her eyes and then she felt that somebody is carrying her. Literally. Because nothing touched. And she's out of the car and she's at a place lying or sitting on the side of the ground. And all she had were 3 scratches of nails. Right? 3 or 4 like that. And when the doctors looked at it, they checked her completely. Something should have happened to you. How is it possible that nothing happened? Pura X-ray, MRI, something happened. Nothing. Then they asked, did any animal attack? Because these lines are not of any metal or anything. They are clearly, nails of a wild animal. And she said, it is not wild animal. It has to be Lord Narasimha Deva. Don't think that Narasimha Deva is not there. Now, he was there in Satyuga protecting Prahlad Maharaj, very much there. When we are in service of Lord Krishna, he appears as the Bhaktavatsala Narasimha Deva. And there are many, many stories like this. Many stories, of devotees in Mayapur, in so many places. Maybe we should hear this story. There are some lectures you can hear where the stories are especially told. Jagannath stories and Narasimha stories. Right? And today is a very special day for Lord Narasimha Deva because it is appearance day. Just now at the time of dusk he appeared. Right? He just completed appearance. He is right now here sitting. But does he look happy or does he look a little upset? Can you look at his face? Huh? Happy? No, he's a little upset. You know why? Only one day in a year he is celebrated and all the feast is made for him and Giriraj just ate before him. Because the speciality of Giriraj is you don't need to offer anything to Giriraj. You bring it, he already eats it. And first thing he eats, right? So Narasimha Deva must be like, yaar, ek hi do din mila tha. And you had all the pleasure. So we are very fortunate today, that extremely fortunate actually. I don't know how to tell this. that doing Abhishek to Giriraj Shila and Lord Narasimha Dev at the same time. This is the transcendental arrangement. Guru Giriraj Govardhan Bhagwan ki Jai. Shri Narasimha Dev ki Jai. Now let us go forward. Who is reading the next one? 25.
Hare Krishna. After hearing these words of devotional service from the mouth of his son Prahlada, Hiranyakashipu was extremely angry. His lips trembling, he spoke as follows to Sanda, the son of his guru, Sukracharya.
Yes. Who wants to shout on Sanda right now? Take the mic. जल्दी लो नहीं तो मैं बोल दूंगा.
O qualified most heinous son of Brahma,
ये सत्वगुण में. बोलो.
you have disobeyed my order and taken shelter of the party of my enemy. You have taught this poor boy about the devotion service. What is nonsense?
हरे कृष्ण. लास्ट लाइन फिर से बोलो प्रभु जी.
What is this nonsense?
हाँ ये फीलिंग आना चाहिए. नेक्स्ट. प्रभु you are not qualified for this. Give to me. चलो later I'll start. Prahlad will read. Take Mahesh Prabhu. हाँ माता जी please go ahead. Nirupa माता जी. She is a teacher. Naturally she shouts every day. Go ahead.
Text 27.
Yes.
In due course of time, various types of diseases are manifest in those who are sinful. Similarly, in this world, there are many deceptive friends in false gods, but eventually, because of their false behavior, their actual enmity becomes manifest.
Hare Krishna. What happened? Okay, now, Sandhya is going to speak. Yes, go ahead. Prabhu. Oh, son. The son of
Sukracharya, Hiranyakashipu's spiritual master said, O enemy of King Indra, O king, whatever your son Prahlada has said was not taught to him by me or anyone else. His spontaneous devotional service has naturally developed in him. Therefore, please give up your anger and do not unnecessarily accuse us. It is not good to insult a Brahma in this way.
So he basically told there is no devotional service in CBSE or ICSE. Useless education we have got. There is no devotional service. But I don't know from where he learned. Hare Krishna. Next. Prahlad Maharaj. Who is reading? Mic is there. Go ahead.
Sri Narad
Muni continues.
Sri Narad Muni continued. When Hiranyakashipu received this reply from the teacher, he again addressed his son Prahlada. Hiranyakashipu said, "You rascal, most fallen of our family, if you have not received this education from your teachers, where have you gotten it from?"
Correct. This is it. Very good. Where did you learn devotion? We are torturing you with mathematics, geography, civics, science, all this. Where did you learn Bhagavad Gita? You tell me. Hare Krishna. Bhakti Center. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj replied, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclinations towards Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others, or by their own efforts, or by a combination of both.
Punar Charvita Charvana. Chewing the chew. That is what he told. Right? Hare Krishna. Very famous verse. Text 31. थोड़ा emotion से पढ़ने का. कौन पढ़ेगा? Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted as a leader or guru a similar blind man attached to external sense objects cannot understand that goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. As blind men guided by another blind man miss the right path and fall into a ditch, materially attached man led by another materially attached man are bound by the ropes of fruitive labor, which are made of very strong cords, and they continue again and again in materialistic life, suffering the threefold miseries.
Hare Krishna. What a explanation Prahlad Maharaj is giving. Remember the scene here. It's not a satsang happening there. there is Hiranyakashipu looking at him with both his eyebrows on the sky. You know, he raises one eyebrow and Indra takes casual leave. That is the capacity of, Hiranyakashipu. And in front of him, he's speaking about devotional service. And he's talking about goal of life. And he's basically indirectly telling about Hiranyakashipu only. A blind man. Hare Krishna. Yeah, who is reading the next one?
Text 32. Unless the smear upon their bodies, the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely freed from the material contamination, that persons very much inclined toward materialistic life cannot be attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, who is glorified for his uncommon activities. Only by becoming Krishna consciousness and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, in this way can one be freed from material contamination.
Hare Krishna. Please repeat after me. Only by becoming Krishna conscious and taking shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. In this way, can one be freed from material contamination. So there is no other way. Bhakti is the only way. Okay. After Prahlad Maharaj had spoken in this way and become silent, Hiranyakashipu, blinded by anger, threw him off his lap and onto the ground. So you can just imagine son, right? How many of you have been thrown by your father on the ground like this? You can't even imagine that. And that too was son like Prahlad. And he was sitting on the lap. And what wrong did he say? What wrong did he do? क्या गलती किया उसने? He was being hated by the whole world around him. Prahlad Maharaj, who was accepting what he was speaking, and was appreciating what he was doing. Whole world was against him. His teachers, his father, his friends, everybody. Right? So is the path of Bhakti. And as a 5-year-old boy, the only hero that we have is our father. Right? For all of us in our childhood, who was our hero? Father. It's often told that when you become a father, you should be very careful in your behavior because you are going to create a reflection in your son. Your children are just going to be a reflection of you. And just imagine, Hiranyakashipu is such a cruel person and Prahlad Maharaj is sitting on his lap waiting to learn from his father. And what did he learn? He learned how not to live, how not to be a person. That is what he is learning, right? Now I'll stop the chapter here. We know what has happened. After that, he is taken back to the college, right? And the education again is given. All the education, whatever Rakshasas have to get, that education is given. Now we are going to the 6th chapter. Now this is a very special chapter and it's called Prahlad's instructions to his demoniac schoolmates. So we are all in school right now. Sabhi bachche hain school mein ready? Present? Now Prahlad Maharaj, now we are going to read this whole chapter. Okay? So please attentively hear. Whoever is reading, attentively hear. Because if we hear these instructions, today Prahlad Maharaj will be very pleased and Narasimha will be double pleased. Now, this was the actual conversation that happened in the school of Prahlad. Today's lecture is also Prahlad school. Right? So mainly on this. Are we ready? Yes. Okay, who has the mic? Yeah. So, quickly decide who is the next person. Take the mic. Till verse number 15, Prabhuji will read. From verse number 16, Mataji will read. Okay? Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
Prahlad Maharaj said, one who is sufficiently intelligent should use the human form of body from the very beginning of life. In other words, from the tender age of childhood to practice the activities of devotional service, giving up all other engagements. The human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life, one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection.
Next. Come on, quick.
The human form of life affords one a chance to return home back to Godhead.
Therefore, every living entity, especially in the human form of life, must engage in devotional service to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. This devotional service is natural because Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the most beloved, the master of the soul, and the well-wisher of all other living beings.
Hare Krishna.
Lord Maharaj continued, my dear friends born of demoniac families, the happiness perceived with reference to the sense objects by contact with the body can be obtained in any form of life, according to one's past fruitive activities. Such happiness is automatically obtained without endeavor, just as we obtain distress.
Hare Krishna Prabhupada Mataji's. This chapter was read every day by Gadadhar Pandit and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to hear. Right? Swayam Krishna used to hear this chapter again. What did Prahlad tell to his friends? Right? So the philosophy that we are hearing here is such a special philosophy that Vyasadeva, when he told, Bhagavad, when he wrote Bhagavad, and Sukadeva Goswami when he was reciting Bhagavad, one full canto was given to Lord Krishna. And Krishna is so much pleased that he gave one full canto to Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj ki. Yeah. So it is not an ordinary thing. One full canto, 7th canto. And Srila Prabhupada many times quoted from this canto. And for many of the senior devotees, at least I have seen this one, 7th canto is their favorite. They keep reading chapter after chapter. There are so many chapters. Total 15 chapters are there in the 7th canto. Right? So we all should read 7th canto and finish 7th canto. How many have this desire? Yeah? Yes. So Narasimha Chaturdashi, a very auspicious day to begin. Start reading Bhagavatam. See, it is so nice, right? Are you all enjoying? Yes. Yeah? You are enjoying because Krishna is enjoying. Krishna within you is enjoying. Yeah? So my humble request, let us keep going. But don't just read for the sake of reading. Simple English, but great instructions. Text 4.
Endeavors merely for sense gratification or material happiness through economic development are not to be performed, for they result in a loss of time and energy with no actual profit. If one's endeavors are directed towards Krishna consciousness, one can surely attain the spiritual platform of self-realization. There is no such benefit from engaging oneself in economic development.
Therefore, while in material existence, the person fully competent to distinguish wrong from right must endeavor to achieve the highest goal of the life as long as the body is stout and strong and is not embarrassed by dwindling.
Text 6.
Every human being has a maximum duration of life of 100 years. But for one who can't control his senses, half of those years are completely lost because at night he sleeps 12 hours being covered by ignorance. Therefore, such a person has a lifetime of only 50 years.
5-year-old boys tell this. Go ahead.
In the tender age of childhood, where everyone is grown up, one passes 12 years. Similarly, in morning, engaged in sporting and playing, one passes another 10 years. In this way, 20 years are wasted. Similarly, in old age, when one is unable to perform with material activities, one passes another 20 years wasted.
At that time, mobile phone was not there. Because another 20 years on mobile phone only. So now nothing, hardly anything is left now. Hare Krishna. Yes, bro. Next. But after this, okay, this one of the question. Yes.
One whose mind and senses are uncontrolled becomes increasingly attached to family life because of installable lusty desires and very strong delusion. In such a madman's life, the remaining years are also wasted because even during those years he cannot engage himself in devotional service.
Hare Krishna.
One person to attach it to household life due to being unable to control his senses can liberate himself. An attached householder is bound very strongly by ropes of affection for his family, wife, children, and other relatives.
Hare Krishna. Text 10.
Money is so dear that one conceives of money.
Read this loudly again. Loudly. It's a very important verse.
Money is so dear that one conceives of money as being sweeter than honey. Therefore, who can give up the desire to accumulate money, especially in household life? Thieves, professional servants, soldiers, and merchants try to acquire money even by risking their very dear lives.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Prabhu, long one. Loudly.
How can a person who is most affectionate to his family, the core his heart being always filled with their pictures, giving up their association, especially a wife is always very kind and sympathetic and always pleasures her husband in solitary place, who can give up the association of such dear and affectionate wife? Small children talk in a broken language, very pleasing to hear, and their affectionate father always thinks of very sweet words. How could be given up their association? One's elderly parents and one's sons and daughters also very dear. A daughter is very especially dear to her father, and while living at her husband's house, she is always in his mind. Who could give up that association? Aside from his in household affairs, there are many decorated items of household furniture, and there are also animals and servants who can give up such a comfort. The attached householder is like a silkworm, which weaves a cocoon in which it becomes imprisoned, unable to get out. Simply for satisfaction of two important senses, the genitals and the tongue. One is bound by material condition. How can one escape?
Hare Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj is telling this to his classmates. It's a classroom discussion. Hare Krishna. Conceivable. Go ahead. Text 14.
One who is too attached cannot understand that he is wasting his valuable life for the maintenance of his family. He also fails to understand that the purpose of human life, a life suitable for realization of the absolute truth, is being imperceptibly spoiled. However, he is very cleverly attentive to seeing that not a single farthing is lost by mismanagement. Thus, although an attached person in material existence always suffers from threefold miseries, he does not develop a distaste for the way of material existence.
Hare Krishna. It does not develop a distaste. जितना भी अप्रेजल होने दो, नेक्स्ट अप्रेजल पे आशा है. Distaste will learn. Hare Krishna. Next.
If a person too attached to the duties of family matters is unable to control his senses, the core of his heart is immersed in how to accumulate money. Although he knows that one who takes the wealth of others will be punished by the law of the government. By the laws of Yamraja after death, he continues cheating others to acquire money.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, you pass the mic.
My dear friends, O sons of the demons, it is certain that no one bereft of knowledge of this mystery.
16.
O my friends, sons of demons, in this material world, even those who are apparently advanced in education have the propensity to consider, this is mine and that is for others. Thus, they are always engaged in providing the necessities of life to their families in a limited conception of family life, just like uneducated cats and dogs. They are unable to take to spiritual knowledge. Instead, they are bewildered and overcome by ignorance.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Bhakti.
Text 17 and 18. My dear friends, O sons of the demons, it is certain that no one bereft of knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been able to liberate himself from the material bondage at any time or in any country. Rather, those bereft of knowledge of the Lord are bound by the material laws. They are factually addicted to sense gratification and their target is women. Indeed, they are actually playthings in the hands of attractive women. Victimized by such the conception of life, they become surrounded by children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And thus they are shackled to material bondage. Those who are very much addicted to this conception of life are called demons. Therefore, although you are sons of demons, keep aloof from such persons, not take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, the origin of all demigods, because the ultimate goal for the devotees of Narayana is liberation from the bondage of material existence. Hare Krishna.
Is everybody hearing and focusing what? Yes. That is the objective. We are not trying to finish the chapter. Okay? It's a very important day, Narasimha Chaturdashi. So please everybody hear.
Text 19. My dear sons of Eve.
No, you have to keep it very close to your mouth.
Text 19. My dear sons of demons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, is the original Supreme Soul. The original Super Soul, the father of all the living entities. Consequently, there are no impediments to pleasing him or worshipping under any condition. Whether one be child or an old man, the relationship between the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always a path, and therefore there is no difficulty in pleasing the Lord.
Very important verse. He's saying the relationship between us and God is already there. We just have to start devotional life and we will develop that relationship. And if you have started, that means we will end with the Supreme Lord for sure. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller who is infallible and indefatigable, is present in different forms of life, from the inert living beings, Stavara, such as the plants, to Brahma, the foremost created living being. He is also present in the varieties of material creations and in the material elements. The total material energy and the modes of material nature, Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, and Tamo Guna, as well as the unmanifested material nature and the false ego, although he is one, he is present everywhere, and he is also the transcendental supreme soul, super soul, the cause of all causes, who is present as the observer in the course of the hearts of all living entities. He is indicated as that which is pervaded and as the all-pervading super soul. But actually he cannot be indicated. He is the changeless and undivided. He is simply perceived as the supreme Satchidananda, eternity, knowledge and bliss, being covered by this curtain of the external energy. To the atheist, he appears non-existent.
So here, two things. One is, it's very clearly being told that he is there in all living entities. All living entities. Can everyone say all living entities?
All living entities.
Animals, birds, plants. So there is no question that there is something in which God is not there and soul is not there. Right? So a lot of people have this feeling that, oh, I'm eating this, I don't think I'm hurting anybody. Should be very careful. God is there in a plant also. Right? And even though we are vegetarian or we are trying to become vegetarian, I don't know, many of you here, some of you, I don't know. But be mindful that if we are not thanking God and accepting His presence, even in vegetarian food, we are doing equivalent amount of sin. Right? Should be very careful on dealings in this material world. Now, and another thing that is being told here, being covered by a curtain of external energy to the atheist, he appears non-existent. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is very attracted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He feels that he is Supreme Lord, maybe not. Like that. He's so attracted. He's amazed. And he tells his cousin, Gopinath Acharya, that please keep Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in your house. Right? And Gopinath Acharya, he tells that his name Chaitanya seems to be, coming from a lower grade of sannyas. I think I will initiate him for a higher grade of sannyas. Or I will, elevate him to a higher grade of sannyas, like that. So Gopinath Acharya says, hey Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, you are so knowledgeable. So can't you see he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And can't you see that God doesn't have any grade of sannyas? There are total, I think 8 or 9 grades of sannyas, in the Shankara Sampradaya, Shankaracharya established. And this is not the highest. That's what you see Sarvam Bhattacharya is thinking. But Gopinath Acharya is trying to explain. And those, I wanted to read those verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think, Madhya Leela, chapter 6, where beautifully Gopinath Acharya explaining that even though you have so much knowledge and even though you are such a great scholar, without the mercy of Krishna, you cannot recognize him. And he says, I will try to find him in scriptures. Vedestu durlabho, adurlabho. Right? This is being told, you cannot find him in Vedas. In Brahma Samhita is being told, you cannot find him in Vedas. Only Bhaktos sakachiti. Rahasyam hi etad uttamam. Only if you become a devotee. And Gopinath Acharya says, you will see him one day when you become a devotee. You will understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it's so unfortunate that you have so many disciples, you have so many learned people, so many people know Vedas, but you can't recognize the Supreme Lord. Right? Because the external energy is covering him. So Prabhupada Maharaj says, we are not able to experience the Supreme Lord. The only way we can experience the Supreme Lord is only when he reveals himself. There is no formula. You cannot say, I'll construct a temple for you, so you'll appear. I'll give this much donation, you'll appear. I even chant 108 rounds, you'll appear. Unless you have a true desire to see him, and unless he feels that he wants to appear in front of you, you cannot see him. And that's exactly what Prahlad Maharaj is saying here. That atheistic people can never see. When you ask atheistic people, will you come to satsang? They don't have any interest. Why? Because Supreme Lord is covering it. Once disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they were a little disappointed after going on book distribution, and they came back. They went on a donation drive also, and they told Prabhupada that Prabhupada today, that person, he has so much money, he did not give. We spent so much time with him. Then Prabhupada said, don't become angry on that person. He did not give because Krishna did not want to take money from him. Are you following? Yes. If you don't think, I'll give something to Krishna. If Krishna doesn't want you, doesn't want your money, if he feels that you don't truly have a desire, you cannot even give to Krishna. A lot of people, they said, we'll give donation, and they could not. They could not. The money went somewhere else, or something else happened in his house. Some other situation came and that donation got diverted. Prabhu, even giving to Krishna is only possible when he wants to accept it. Right? That is how powerful it is. And if we are able to give anything to Krishna, Prabhu, he is going to calculate and multifoldly give us back. If we do anything for Krishna, Ratyatas are coming. We will be spending more and more time on planning. And we also have, I would like to take this brief opportunity to tell all of you that very soon ISKCON, huge temple of ISKCON Cyberabad is coming just 5 kilometers from here. It's called Cyberabad. Not Hyderabad, not Secunderabad, Cyberabad, which includes all the areas. 2 acres of land is given, registered, and today morning we had Vastu Puja on that land. And it is being, the land was brought by His Grace Sriram Prabhu and His Grace Anand Govind Prabhu. You know how difficult it is to get land in this area, that too from government. All glories to the MRO or whoever is the officer there, he'll definitely go back to God. Because the price of the land is 100 crores per acre. Who would want to give? In 1 acre you can shoot up, I don't want to get into calculation, but 40 floors. And you know how much his flat will go. Why will we give land? Right? And so much land there is already occupied. Endowment land is already occupied. People are looking at, devotees when they are even going near that land. Kya karne ho yahan pe? Because slowly they are pushing their houses into that land. Right? And in between that, literally devotees spend days and nights What all sacrifices they did for more than a year, you don't even know. Taking families of government officials to Vrindavan, Govardhan, Yatras, Prasadam, gifts, giving them Krishna conscious bhakti, pulling them towards this, and in between, after doing all that, the officer changes. And again it begins from Vrindavan, Govardhan. And so many things, right? And finally, His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Maharaj, he also intensely prayed. And the land is sanctioned. Very cool. Right? And the survey happened. And we are all of us are going to be part of the temple in a very, very big way, right? So this is Krishna's plan. Everything Krishna. See, many times, many devotees in our satsang, Prabhuji, हम लोग land क्यों नहीं देखते हैं? Try to find some land. And not everybody is skillful in doing that also. My only one attempt to find a land was the opposite plot for parking. And my face value is so bad, he didn't even allow parking. He established new gate and put a lock also. Hare Krishna. Then he said, Prabhu, ये तो मेरे से तो नहीं होगा, आप लोग करना तो करो. Everybody were thinking, and literally wherever there is a vacant land, while we are driving, we are looking, can this land come to this one? Is it possible? But Prabhu, the desire of devotees is the most important thing that Supreme Lord sees, and the land has manifested. On the main road facing, on the main road of Nalagandla, right, where so many gated communities are getting surrounded, and Mahesh Prabhu, Virendra Prabhu, and so many other Prabhujis have been doing satsangs for such a long time. Pavan Prabhu is doing in Lingampalli. It's very close from there also. Look at the location. Huh? When Krishna points the map, Google location, it has to be in the center. Huh? Perfect center. Jallapur is close by, Golizati is close by, Gachibowli is close by, Lingampalli is close by. No, we have to go close by from our heart. Right? So His Holiness Bhakti Padma Saurabh Pracharak Maharaj is coming on 18th, not on 18th, on 25th to here. And he is made in charge to help us build this temple. He is going to be guiding. And His Grace Radhesham Prabhu and Maharaj, both of them are going to personally monitor and guide the construction of this temple. And if you go to that side, it's like a little Ahobilam, filled with rocks. You don't know where to start, what to do. And that land has a temple already, Ranganath Swami temple. You know how old it is? 850 years old. Swayambhu temple. Right? And that land is coming behind that, beside the temple, road facing. All of it is coming to us. Prabhupada Mataji's develop a desire to give. This is your opportunity to give directly in service of the Lord. Maharaj is going to come, and he is going to come and say, here is the opportunity. At this time, if you calculate, then the offering will not go to God. Do the best you can. I am mentally preparing all of you already. Right? What you want to give in the form of money. Lakshmi Devi is already come to you. And we have kept her for different reasons. But now she is telling, all of those reasons को cancel करो, मेरे नारायण के सेवा में लगाओ. This is true Lakshmi Puja by giving. So please think multifold and think that from your family side you are giving this, right? And Maharaj is going to come, and we have organized 12 programs in 2 weekends. 12 programs already. So Maharaj is going to, Subara Prabhu's program in Lancer Britannia, Arvind Prabhu's program and Raja Ramesh Prabhu's program in Mayam Avatar. Prasad Prabhu's program is going, right, in Bachupalli. Pawan Prabhu's program is going in Lingampalli. Dasraj Prabhu's program is going in, Chandanagar area, in Aparna communities. Many other programs, and some of them I still need to schedule. Time is not, Udayan Prabhu's have to plan. Right? Maharaj has to come. And all Maharaj is going to tell is a glorious opportunity for us to serve Krishna. Right? So let us all come forward and take full advantage of this opportunity. How many are ready? Yeah? Yes. This is a great opportunity. It doesn't come again and again. And this is our temple. We are going to leave our body serving in the temple. In the temple or around the temple. Right? It's a great opportunity. So please take advantage of this. So I'd like to stop here. I know that there is more teachings. I'd like to spend a little more time, but before that, I also want to show a special video of boat festival that we had recently. Right? The grand gala release of this video. So whoever has not participated in this boat festival due to any reasons, please come in the front and please see what you have missed by not coming. Hare Krishna. Jai. Yeah. I think I have to keep the mic here. So. I can connect. I can connect? Yes. To this one? This one? No, I think I'll just keep it here. Let's. Hare Krishna. Are you all ready? Yes. So, yes, bro. Quality, high quality. Huh? Bluetooth connection? How about this one? It doesn't connect to this one? Yeah. Generic monitor Epson, no? This will go direct. Huh? Can you come? Add device. Add device? Come there. Add device. Put connection. Bluetooth. Add device. Okay. Bluetooth. Search. Searching. Which one? This one? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So connected room. Connected things. Quality. I don't know if that's my sound. Okay? Full? Let us see. Roji wants it in. It's not coming. It's not coming. Hare Krishna. That's why I said let's do a simple one. Keep the mic here. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Where is it? Yeah. See, this is also happening because of God only. Krishna wants the suspense to be built. Right? Hare Krishna. Yes. Where, bro?
That is VDA.
VDA?
Yes.
We got it.
It's connecting. Yes, connecting.
Jai. Are you all connected?
Very good.
Are you all ready? Shri Radha Gopi Vallabh ki
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
BHL రథయాత్ర అవుతుంది కాబట్టి అందరూ ఖచ్చితంగా నాటిని జూన్ 29వ తారీఖు మధ్యాహ్నం 4 గంటల నుండి ప్రారంభమవుతుంది.
Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, you on the right, sir? You on the right, sir? Hare Krishna. So, behind this, we can go on speaking about this boat festival for a long, long time. Maybe I'll ask Pawan Prabhu to one weekend present what all happened to make this happen. Right? It is, I can tell you, to my knowledge, this is the biggest area of boat festival in entire ISKCON that is done. Because always it is a small place, small boat festival. It's like huge place. And what they did, we can't even imagine. Literally hundreds. There are devotees who slept near that place during the night, so nobody comes and does any nonsensical activity there. For days and days. And it was cleaned, it was not being used. So a lot of sacrifices gone back into this. So on this very special Chaturdashi day, let us thank Pawan Prabhu, Sandhya Mataji and the whole BHL congregation that with their tireless efforts and of course support of many of the devotees who did this festival happen. Let us thank them with 3 loud, enthusiastic Hari Bol. And next year, this is going to happen even more vibrant way. Prabhuji said, "This is a trailer." Baki picture baki hai, right? So next year is going to be even more vibrant, where each congregation will prepare something special for Shri Radha Gopi Vallabh, and the boat will go, come back, have those snacks of that, and each congregation will take the boat also. They will take the boat around and will come back and they will have their snack and again. So next year we will have much more vibrant, but all sacrifices of Pawan Prabhu, days and nights, he didn't sleep. 8-9 hours he was standing in the water to keep those flowers. Never had this experience. He thought of getting a boat. They told they'll give the boat. In the last minute they said they'll not give the boat. He took one pond in one temple. Then the last minute they said they will not give. Then the last minute they said you have to pay 40,000, 30,000 for just water in it. God knows what all happened. Everything was going against. And they spent whole night and they finally made this whole scene ready. And Indradev started, literally all, like lights in the sky, air, and to start blowing, and all the flowers which were kept were moving around. Like, what is going to happen? Nobody knows. But Krishna created that climax, right? And finally it happened. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So, I take little time to tell something very important. Recently, I was in a meeting, fortunate to be in such meetings, where His Holiness Bhakti Vidyapurna Maharaj was there. And he was explaining, please everybody here attentive, he was explaining, of course he was saying how fortunate we are, but sometimes he was also saying how unfortunate we can be. Even in midst of devotees, how unfortunate we can be. So I made notes of whatever he told, little things that he told. And then I asked a question which he answered. Very fortunate to be in such forum. I got not qualified, but I was there. So here, Maharaj told, ISKCON is Srila Prabhupada's school, just like Prahlad's school. Right? People think joining ISKCON is enough, and just staying there, they will become Krishna conscious. That's not right. That's exactly what Maharaj is saying. Don't take this for granted. Prabhuji, among many births, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, we have come here and we are directly in access to ISKCON. Don't take this for granted. Maharaj told temple is successful by opening big Govindas, big guest house, kirtan, etc. But that is not the purpose for which Srila Prabhupada had in mind by going in Jalal. Getting devotees at one place, having big festival, all is good. It also looks good, externally everything is good, but we have to do something that we are not doing. Right? Srila Prabhupada wanted us to become responsible devotees who are serious about devotion. He wanted ISKCON to make pure devotees. Prabhu, that is the business of ISKCON. Let's not take this easily. This festival that we just saw, it's mercy of Krishna. Pure mercy of Krishna. We cannot organize this. He wanted it. Why did he get it done? All these Rath Yatras. This year, we are doing big number of Rath Yatras. I think 34 is a count right now. Maybe even more. But after all this, if our attraction towards pure devotion is not there, then simple words, Shrama Yevahi, it just becomes an endeavor where we want. Of course, there is some credit, we'll get to it. But how many of you want to be in ISKCON and also take next birth? Tell me. Great opportunity we have in our hands. But if we are not serious about it, we might end up taking next birth again. So am I progressing in Prahlad's school? Responsibility of our success is on me, not on ISKCON or Satsang. It's on us. Remember, Maharaj Prabhu. It's our responsibility. Don't blame tomorrow, Prabhuji, Satsang अच्छा नहीं था, Prabhuji, ISKCON ठीक नहीं. क्या मैं ठीक हूँ? Am I ready for this? Am I preparing for this? On Narasimha Chaturdashi day, after reading Prahlad Maharaj's teachings, am I ready for this? Am I actually ready to change my life? Or am I just faking around? Materialistic life is materialistic life, spiritual life also भी चलता रहेगा. कोई तो धक्का देगा. Somebody will push me into the spiritual world. No, it will not happen. It cannot happen. Satsang prepares us for pure devotion, but the responsibility is on us. When there are any reversals in spiritual progress, some immature devotees start blaming what? They start blaming devotees also. That they didn't behave nicely with me. That is the reason I am not coming to satsang. That these devotees don't know how to take care. Devotee care system is not good. Nobody is taking care of me, so I don't care about God. Where are we going? Some people blame ISKCON. Oh, too many rules, Prabhu. What is the dushmani with onion and garlic? Right? What is the security? Don't blame ISKCON. You have been given a platform. Don't blame satsang. People blame satsang. I tell you, all this is happening because of bad association. Only because of bad association. I will tell you one small formula. Please take this. If any devotee is guiding you, but he has left all his previous Siksha Gurus, run away from the devotee. Because he has no connection. Understand this? A person who is fixed up remains fixed up. And the people who go to him are also fixed up. If you go to somebody and he's like, Prabhuji, now I understood what is ISKCON. I'll tell you how to. Prabhu, what about your Siksha Guru? Prabhu, they all tell Prabhu, they are good people, Vaishnavana. But then, say thank you to such people. Because you will lose connection with God. It can happen within our society also. Right? Maharaj said, be very careful. Prabhu, all this is not to find fault with anyone. It's for our good. It's for our good. People even blame Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Both lamba hai. Right? They can go on. Gaurang Prabhu tells so many hilarious things on how people talk about Hare Krishna mantra. Thoda chota. हम लोग बहुत आसानी से होता है ना. Why Mahaprabhu gives such a long mantra? Mantra works. Mantra works. It has always worked. It works even now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We have to chant it. We have to continue chanting it. We should never give it up. We should increase our rounds. With every passing year, increase one round. At least now you have passed your 40s. Many of you have crossed your 40s. With every Kartik Mass, increase one round. Now you are chanting 16. This Kartik Mass, it will become 17. Next Kartik Mass, it will become 18. Minimum, by the time you are 70, you are automatically tuned to chant at least 50-60 rounds. We have to voluntarily take it out. Mantra works. Devotee care is not there. You are coming here to give. This is not a place to take. Please understand this mindset. Prahlad Maharaj was not busy taking, he was busy giving. That's the nature of a devotee. Let's be serious about it. And their unfulfilled needs. Oh, this did not work out, that did not work out, so I don't want to go to satsang. Even after, coming to devotional path, they are measuring God's mercy with materialistic things. Not going to work. You are coming to ISKCON hospital to get cured, and that's our responsibility to get cured. If your chanting is not good, sit down. Speak with other devotees. If you are struggling with materialistic desires, materialistic tendencies, lusty desires, talk to a good devotee. Or see another good devotee and try to practice it. Right? So here, how are the devotees in Prahlad school? As a preacher, we have to think, are people actually transforming into pure devotion? Prabhuji, this is a response. There are many people who are preaching here or started preaching here. We are here to show people pure devotional service. Don't show anything cheaper than that. There are many other institutions where cheaper things can be given. You understand me? Where cheaper things can be given. Many other places. Here don't give it, Baba. There are many parallel paths. Sattvic living, cow care, organic vegetation. All these are good. They are all part. Value education. Many things. They are all part of it. But the main thing is what? Pure devotional service. Don't get deviated from this. Many people get deviated very easily. Because they have some other tendency, it is getting fanned, they'll go in the direction. They'll forget about it. Right? Very important. So, if no, then take the needed steps. We should think, are we creating a society of spiritual seekers? Are we preaching people in a way that they are aspiring to increase their spiritual standards? With every year, are you increasing your spiritual standards? Are people really heading towards a simple living and higher thinking? Are we really? Think about it. How is my material life taking me? I'm not saying don't buy big houses. I'm not saying don't get more money. But what is your thinking process? Where is it going? On what are you spending this extra money that you are getting? Matters, no? Huh? Are people really feeling responsibility to grow spiritually? Are you feeling the responsibility? Prabhuji, I am not growing spiritually. Can you help me? You should feel that responsibility. Are we evolving into a spiritual society which is going to help us pass the test of death? Are we? Huh? Are we becoming a social circle It's very important. Are we becoming a social circle carrying the same anarthas of pride and comparison? Even after coming to satsangs, we are comparing ourselves with each other on a material line. ओ प्रभु जी आपके बर्थडे पे ये गिफ्ट दिया, मेरे बर्थडे पे कोई गिफ्ट नहीं दिया. Your anniversary cake cutting happened, my anniversary nothing happened. Right? Prabhu, this is not a social circle. Don't be in that illusion. We are coming here with a mission. Prabhupada went in Jaladuta for a mission. He gave us Jagannath, Lord Narasimha for a vision. With a vision. Prabhupada doesn't want any one of us to stay back in this material world. Not a single person. He doesn't want it. Let us hear the words of Prabhupada. Every day, read purports of Prabhupada. इतने लोग हैं यहाँ पे, भागवतम है घर में पढ़ रहे नहीं. They saying there is no time. Come on. Time नहीं है भागवतम पढ़ने के लिए? किसके लिए time है? How many are watching at least 3 hours now updates on Pakistan-India war? Huh?
Yeah, I watched it.
देखो यार, लेकिन कितना? Instead of that, you could have read Mahabharata. You could have read Chaitanya Charitamrita. You could have read Ramayana. You could have read Bhagavad Gita. We have time. Wherever an interest is, time will come. People who are working day and night, they never had time for chanting. Today are watching updates on Republic TV, on Times Now, on this and that. Chilla के क्या हो रहा है war में? क्या से मिला time? Where did the time come from? Wherever your consciousness is, time is sitting there. And we don't have time. Huh? Are our satsangs becoming religious get-togethers with good? Huh? Prabhuji, everybody khichdi Prabhu. Huh? In the last 20 years, I had a lake of khichdi. What is the point? Why are we coming here? Prasadam is important. Today's Prasadam feast is sponsored by Parshuram Prabhu and family. Are we really promoting Brahmanical principles of cleanliness, truthfulness, austerity and mercy? Prabhuji, this is very important line. Please read this. I'm reading it again. Are we really promoting Brahmanical principles of cleanliness, truthfulness, austerity and mercy? Are we promoting this? Recently my son, I don't know if he's here, he is in a medical college. So he wanted to come. And he told, you want to bunk college for a change. So he told, Nana, I'm taking, but I'll ask one proxy to put my attendance. I also did. But now after coming to ISKCON, I'm thinking, is there something that we should do? Prabhuji, only proxy, right? What is the problem in proxy? That is how it starts. That is how it starts. We have to promote truthfulness in our life. We have to promote. It doesn't come naturally. We'll be induced to be unclean. We'll be induced to be untruthful. We'll be induced for no austerity. We'll go to Yatra only if there is an AC room, 3-star hotel. Why are you going to Yatra? Go to Tangmad, na? Go stay in that hotel. Right? Are we inducing mercy in our lives? Very important. Then I asked a question. This is my question to Maharaj, Bhakti Vidyapuna Maharaj. I said, Maharaj, all this is good. But when people come to measure us, now please hear this. When people come to measure us, say anybody comes to a satsang or a temple, sannyasis or anybody, they say, oh, you people are doing very good. Oh, so many Rath Yatras, so many books, so many festivals, so much money, so much donations, such a big temple. But what you are telling Maharaj is completely different. Right? You are telling inner transformation. But there is external transformation that is being measured, unfortunately or fortunately. That is also important. More books, big temple, big this, big that. All that is important. But you are talking about inner transformation. How can I measure inner transformation? How can we measure inner transformation in a congregation? I am sitting here on Vyasasan. I am seeing this 300-200 people here. How can I know whether inner transformation is happening in them or not? How many have this question? How can I know? Because I can only see, oh, Prabhuji did book distribution, Hari Bol. You big festival, Hari Bol. But inner transformation, how can I know? Do you want to know the answer?
Yes.
I wrote the answer here. This is the last slide. Right? Why am I telling this? Because this is the transformation which Prahlad Maharaj wanted in all of us. By telling those teachings in Prahlad school. How do we know if we are developing a really Krishna conscious devotees? Because mostly we are measured by number of books sold or number of people attending, etc. What are the real ways to measure the inner transformation of a satsang? Right? Maharaj gave a beautiful answer. He said few points. How many devotees are really taking responsibility for Srila Prabhupada? What does it mean? Clap करना तो पूरा मारना सही ना? Very important. What does it mean? Are we preparing to sacrifice our life for Srila Prabhupada? Like his disciples did. Maharaj said, Prabhupada disciples, they were told, go to Japan, they went to Japan. They never went to Japan, but they went to Japan. Right? Anything Prabhupada told was happening. Are we ready for those instructions? Are we even planning to become ready for those instructions? Or you want to just come to satsang, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Mahaprasade Goinde, and go back? Are we even planning for that phase to start in our life to take responsibility? Right? Next. How many are satisfied in their spiritual life? That's a measure. Right? How do I know satsang is going good? We will know by looking at people. Are they satisfied? Are they happy? Right? Whenever festival happens, do they sleep like a burden? Whenever any cleanup, wrap-up work comes, do they suddenly vanish? Right? Whenever any program is coming, at what time are they coming? Right? Are you coming to welcome or you want to be welcomed? Right? Prabhu, all this shows the satisfaction. If you are satisfied in spiritual life, you will be the first one to be there. Is that not true? Yes. Maharaj said, how many are coming regularly and not just on big festivals when famous gurus come? Now he is a guru. He is an initiated spiritual master. He is telling. That shows our attachment to God. Wherever you are, somewhere you should go. Not here, somewhere. Somewhere you should go, every week. Virtual satsang. किधर से पैदा हो रहे भाई? कोविड पैदा किया है कि नहीं? I am attending satsang. Right? I have seen devotees, without shame I tell, I gave some lectures with kandva and kurta with pant below. This camera इधर से किया. That is called duplicity. समझ? Prabhuji, we can with online we can reach people. We cannot teach people. We cannot. We can only reach. Don't give that illusion. It's not like somebody is going to monitor and put rules on us. No. If you are part of a satsang, automatically our standards will not go down. They will not go down. If we are not part of a satsang, forget about going up. They will pakka go down. I have seen devotees. Tilak gaya, dress gaya, chanting gaya, कंठी गया. एक पार्टी में कंठी दिखता है, एक पार्टी में कंठी नहीं दिखता. राइट? एक सुपरमैन, ऐसे बोलते हैं सुपरमैन, बंद करते हैं छोटा आदमी. Who are you? All because of lack of satsang. Maharaj told. These are all words of Maharaj. And not only every great sannyasi is telling, whether it's Jayapataka Maharaj or Bhakti Maharaj or Radhanath Maharaj, they are all telling these points. Be careful. Right? How many fights are happening in the society? That also shows our situation. For how many things people are fighting with each other? It will happen, even in devotee society fights happen. How many are busy gossiping in satsang? This is a way to measure whether inner transformation is happening or not. I got 3 types of pressure. You what? You always get Mataji. That Mataji never brings anything. I don't know what she's coming. I don't know. They are preaching also, but they are not getting anything. This Prabhuji, oh, you think he only knows how to speak. You want to tell the whole world is finishing Bhagavatam. What is this? Gossiping. And who is it helping? Yamaraj. Rara. Wait just a minute. Satsangal Rara. Right? Who is it helping? Yamaraj it is helping. Pakka it is not helping you. Again, Prabhu, we are here to inspire each other. There is no other reason we are here. Serious business. Everybody has taken their time. No gossiping. No fights. Only service. How many are taking up new services? Voluntarily, year on year. Reading circles, shloka classes, kirtan classes, corporate outreach, donations for projects, organizing yatras. Prabhu, this should happen voluntarily. बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है. Out of our comfort zone, how much are we going forward? Are these points valid, Prabhu?
Yes, yes.
Was Prahlad Maharaj telling all this?
Yes.
Yes, he was telling. This is what he is telling. That inner transformation is important. Narasimha Chaturdashi should make us please Narasimha. This transformation has to come. When this transformation comes, then we get graduated from the Prahlad school. Yeah? You want to get the certificate? How many are eager to the certificate of graduation? This is the certificate we'll get. Right? But if there is no inner transformation, Yamaraj will be there. Rara. What is the use? You missed the pot. Before frying in refined oil, Yamaraj will make you sit there. And he'll ask, నీకేం పట్టిందిరా ఇస్కాన్ పోయినావు భక్తుల మధ్యలో కూర్చున్నావు ఇక్కడికి వచ్చినావురా నువ్వు హౌ డిడ్ యూ కమ్ హియర్ కైసే యహాं पे तू you are sitting in between devotees Prabhupada sent your guru and initiated you. How did you land up here? Right? And then you are wondering, what did Prabhuji told on 11th May 2025? Why did you not follow? Why did that Maharaj tell all those things? Right? Prabhuji and Mataji say now, let's take 3 prayers on this festival day. Let's pray to Prahlad Maharaj. Please repeat after me. To give the determination to follow the words of his Guru Maharaj. Whatever Prahlad Maharaj heard in the womb of Kayadu, he followed for the rest of his life. Even though everything was unconducive, he followed his Guru's words. We also want the determination. So intensely, we should pray to Prahlad Maharaj. Please again, to give the determination. To follow the words of his Guru Maharaj. Right? Whom else should we pray? We should pray to Narasimha. Right? Repeat after me. May Lord Narasimha protect me when a small Prahlada of devotee in my heart is disturbed by the large Maya of Hiranyakashipu. Protect me, Narasimha. There are band Bajra Narasimha. Every day Narasimha. This movie Narasimha, that Netflix Narasimha, that Amazon Prime Narasimha, this road Narasimha, that exhibition Narasimha, this Begum Bazaar Narasimha, that Koti Habits shop Narasimha, that Chandana Bazaar Narasimha. They are all manifestations of Hiranyakashipu. Right? Protect me. Please protect me. Otherwise I will get drifted away. This very opportunity I will lose. So we pray to Prahlad Maharaj. And we pledge to. Are you all really praying this? Yes. पूछ रहे हैं? Let's pray one more very important person. Who is the most important person in our lives? May we follow the example of his attraction to Prahlad Maharaj and his compassion to all fallen souls. May our preaching always represent that compassion. Right? Who are all preaching here? Lift your hand. Prabhu, everybody lift your hand. Everybody is preaching. Come on, lift your hand. You are preaching somebody, right? Your neighbor, your daughter, right? Your son, your parents, your family. Everybody is preaching. Even a small child is preaching through his behavior, everybody else. Don't think sitting on Vyasasana is preaching. This is one other format. But real preaching is what I'll do after I get down from Vyasasana. Anybody can speak like this. Chance mila, everybody is a great dialogue speaker here. But after I get down, that is real preaching. And everybody is preaching. Right? But let us preach with compassion of Srila Prabhupada. That is what our prayer should be. How Prabhupada preached? Prabhupada preached even when there was no Vyasasana. Prabhupada preached when there was no money also. Prabhupada preached when he did not have proper dress. You know, Prabhu, we all have money in our bank accounts. We sometimes don't think twice to, pay 10,000 rupees for something. We took two people somewhere and we had to pay 8,000 rupees. Prabhu, Vrindavan hotel ka room 3,000 chalega, Prabhuji. Prabhupada sitting in Vrindavan is writing a letter in Prabhupada Leelamrita is writing a letter to another sannyasi in Gaudiya Math. You know what he's writing? He's saying, my clothes are torn. Can I be given one more set? Because when I go and preach, people are not taking me seriously. These are the words of the founder Acharya of ISKCON. How he treated Lakshmi Devi when it was not there with him. And when Lakshmi Devi was with him, how was his behavior? See? Prabhupada went to ISKCON Delhi. And he went and everybody is like, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Everybody is dancing. And Prabhupada goes to the temple and he directly walks underneath to the cellar place where the kitchen is there. Nobody expected Prabhupada will enter the kitchen. They thought Prabhupada will come to the temple hall. He'll see the temple hall. Everybody is planning to meet Prabhupada in temple hall. Prabhupada just goes to the kitchen. It's not his first visit. He knows where the kitchen is. And that Prabhuji, I forgot his name. He came to our house in Boston once. No, not Sharif. In Boston. He was the cook in that kitchen. And he was cooking, expecting that, lunch has to be made, whatever. And Prabhupada is right in front of him. Yeah. Nobody expected. Right? And you know what Prabhupada went and asked him? Can you believe the question that Prabhupada asked him? Where are you buying vegetables? And Prabhupada said, I know Delhi. Where are you buying vegetables? And he said, Swamiji, Prabhupada, we are buying it. No. This vegetable you should buy here, it comes fresh. That vegetable you should buy it there, it comes less cost. You should make sure you are buying it this time of the day. Don't go late. Because the price changes. You should go here, do this. This Prabhupada felt is more important. No, Prabhu, simple living and high thinking. In this mindset, we can't go back to Krishna. Don't think. जो mindset में अपन लोग है, vacation, hotel, AC, and devotion. This is not the right emotion. Right? Seriously, this is not the right emotion. I'm not telling we have to live poverty-stricken, but what is our mindset? Compassion will come only when there is simplicity in the heart. All these things is coming to us probably. How are we showing our opulence to the world? Are we showing it in the form of money? or are we showing in the form of service? Right? That is our real opulence. Are you opulent? Prabhuji, are you opulent? Are you opulent, Prabhuji? Yes, he is doing satsang. He is giving his time in 3 satsangs every week, Prabhuji. Every week. My own jewel, Matrushi Nagar, and he is also coming in city in satsang. He is opulent. Prabhu, according to Krishna, he is the most opulent devotee here. Not that I am living in a flat, I am living in a villa, I am living this, I have this job. Who cares about that opulence? What car I can, who cares? The most opulent devotee is a devotee who is doing service and who has lots of service. And now Krishna wants to make all of us opulent. He is appearing 5 kilometers from here and is going to give lot of service. Lot of service. Are we ready for it? Are we planning to become ready for it? Yes. Right? Take this opportunity. We can develop all the opulence. This is the real wealth Prabhupada said is devotional service. Devotional service. Right? And when we do all this, then definitely we will see Krishna. And I'd like to show a small video of Pachna Prabhu's daughter. With your permission, Prabhu. Your daughter is told. Now this Mataji, I have seen her video some time ago. She is a disciple of His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj. Very difficult. Sometimes life gives us, reversals. Like everybody else. I don't know the full story, but I'm just attempting to tell a little bit that when and enjoy this world, at that very moment, the true face of material world came in front. Right? I'll just play the video about her. More you can actually browse and see. Small Instagram video. By His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, right? And she wrote a book. Can we have some copies of those books? Around 30 copies are there. It's a bestseller. At that age, I want to play this small video with Mataji, and she's a sister who took care of Mataji in those difficult times. Other Mataji is here. Yeah? Hare Krishna. Yeah. So, Twice as Bright is a book. You can also order it and buy it. I want to read it. As a devotee, she has written this. She said, "This is my contribution before I leave." Right? So, I just play a small video. Please hear.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all of you. My name is Padma Dasi. I am 22 years old. And today I am so happy and I feel greatly honored to present to you my first book, Twice as Bright, A Young Girl's Journey of Devotion. Becoming an author has been a long time dream for me, and writing has been something very close to my heart. And living a life like mine where my genetic and progressive illness, muscular dystrophy, has been limiting me more and more and confining me to my bedroom. A world desire to do something and be someone and contribute in some way. And I found writing as a place where I could pour my heart out. And this book, which is a journal that I wrote, keeping in mind all of you, where I attempt to honestly share with all of you my journey of wanting to be a nice devotee, but at the same time dealing with the struggles of living in this material world and those of a diseased body. And I hope that through this book I can connect with all of you. I've been very fortunate to be in a Krishna conscious environment and live in this holy community for so many years. So many of you have personally encouraged me to write and encouraged me to be whoever I am today, and I'm really grateful for all of your love and blessings always. Even though we're not there at the launch of my book here personally, but I feel very blessed that it is happening in the presence of my dear spiritual master, His Holiness Kirat Swami Maharaj, and all of you. And I can't wait for you to read my book, and I pray that for all that I have received in my entire life, being in such a beautiful Krishna conscious community of devotees that Srila Prabhupada has blessed us with, I pray that in return to all of that, through this book of mine, I can render some service. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Thank you for being here. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the Grandfather. All glories to all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mohini Mataji ki. It is so difficult to lose a loved one. And in a Krishna conscious journey, there is so much support, so much blessings we get. And I'm seeing this book, the pictures, right? As well as Giriraj Swami Maharaj is giving her a garland, Bhakti Swami Maharaj, Indradunya Maharaj, right? Devi Govind Swami Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and she had the altar filled with so many other acharyas near her bed, especially Kamal Krishna Maharaj. Rajis, there is so much to learn from this life on this special day. None of us have time. But she got to know her time. And in such a young age, she became so serious. And for sure, she is right now sitting beside Krishna, giving him little butter and telling Krishna, see these people in Gachibowli and do something. Yes. Today is a celebration of Chaturdashi, celebration of a devotee Prahlad, and many little Prahlads in ISKCON. And a small Prahlad that we just find. Hare Krishna. So, I know it's late. I know many of you are fasting. So, I would like to give the mic for 1 minute to Mataji, who is here. And Parshram Prabhu is also there if he wants to share anything. The mother is also there, family is here. Yes, you can talk on behalf of her. Yeah. You can stand here if you don't mind. Everybody can see you.
So, Hare Krishna. I try to be very quick. It's difficult for me to speak just a little bit about my sister. So she was born on 11th May 2000. She would have turned 25 today. It's her birthday. Also the day that Shri Radha Madan Mohan came in her life in this form, and that's how she received the name based on there, then Madan Mohan Bhakti. She was born in a special way, and Lord Krishna came in her life soon after she was conceived. And my mother used to keep looking at the picture of Krishna when she was on bed rest for some time during her pregnancy, and then had that kind of threefold posture a lot of the times. She was probably meditating in the womb. And from that time on, we joined ISKCON, and so much mercy started flowing in our lives because of her coming in our life. We were very fortunate that she was born in our family. And just at a very young age, her determination, her this attachment and love for the movement, for Srila Prabhupada, for the devotees showed us and gave us so much hope that Krishna consciousness is carried on from a previous lifetime. And around the age of 16, she started developing intense love and separation for Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj when we had never met Maharaj. That was a special chapter of her life. But parallelly, material struggle because of her health condition. She had muscular dystrophy. She was very limited by her body. She was in the wheelchair since she was 13 years old. She was on nasal cannula oxygen support for the last 5-6 years of her life. But nothing shook her resolve to serve Srila Prabhupada. Like Prabhuji was saying that we should take responsibility. As a very young girl, she used to feel like our gurus are getting old and they are, traveling the world and not taking rest, and we should be taking that load off their shoulders and doing our part. We are the youth of the movement, and we are sitting back and enjoying what they have created for us. So her determination it reflects in the book. It shows how if she could do all of this despite these challenges, what is stopping us? I've read the book a few times, and every time it shifts something deep inside me. She's sharing various struggles, she's sharing her desire to serve, she's sharing the value of mercy and the greed that she had for it. How all these, the Prabhuji was mentioning that she received so much mercy from these senior devotees. She used to seek it, she used to run after it, she used to do whatever it took to grab it wherever she could find it, and not just famous personalities, but every young child or another devotee who no one might know. She was looking for inspiration everywhere. In the process, she was becoming an inspiration for so many people. So yeah, there's just so much more I want to say, but I can tell you that if you are looking to improve your practice and sincerity and dedication and love, then this book is really going to help. I keep going back to it after reading it 5 or 6 times. And she's not my sister. She kept putting things back in perspective. Her love for the movement clearly showed me how she belonged to Krishna and to the Gurus more than she belonged to us as a family. And I think that's the perspective we need to keep in mind at all times, that we are parallel here, but our real relationship is with Guru and Krishna, and we are all supporting each other. The book is available. We have 30 copies today, and it's for 250 rupees per copy. Just a little thing I wanted to share about Mohini is that she wanted to make a lot of donations for all the temples for Srila Prabhupada's movement. So today Prabhuji made this nice announcement. So all the receipts from the sale of this book today, we want to, on Mohini's behalf, give to the new temple. So I'll be at the back there with the copies. Please come and take yours. And if we get short of copies, we can always arrange for more. But please come and take yours.
There are very nice reviews behind. You are so full of realizations and feelings. I would very much like to see them printed. His own as Bhakti Chaturdashi Maharaj. Every spiritual aspirant and every person struggling with illness or imminent death should read this book. His own as Giriraj Swami Maharaj. There's so many other, Namogila, Prabhu, Janvi Harrison, everybody have written so many. I think Prabhuji, we are all our lives is a book in a unique way, right? Every single life that we have here is a book in a unique way. But the speciality of this book is there is complete Krishna in that book, right? So let us make our book filled with Krishna and take inspiration from Madan Mohan Mohini Mataji and the whole family here who went through so much, but they are so nicely here presenting this. Actually, Mataji just came to Hyderabad a few months and probably called me. We had a word And I'm amazed how Krishna plans everything. They brought Giriraj, they served Giriraj in their house. Right? Giriraj Gordhan is here. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. So, thank you, Mati.
If it's okay, I just want to
Yeah.
spend another minute and share how Moini departed.
Yeah, right.
So, all her life, like she's been to hospital a lot of times, had a few hospitalizations, and she would come back fighting, and we would wonder how she would finally be ready for the final day of her departure. She kept fighting. So just a few days before she passed away, I was seeing her struggle right next to her, and she was breathless. There was no solution, no doctors, no medicines, nothing was happening, and we felt like she might finally leave. So I asked her later when she survived this, if you keep fighting, how will you cross the line? Because you just have to let go and surrender. I mean, I was being probably just theoretical, but there was no other way it seemed. So she told me later that unless I know that it is time for me to leave, my body does not belong to me, it belongs to my spiritual master, so I must keep fighting to preserve it. So she took it as her service to survive. And one day before she left, 24 hours or maybe a little around that time before she left, she was making a video, like a vlog of her current illness and how she's going to come out of it and continue serving. There's so much that she still wanted to do. And then a few hours before leaving, the last 5 days of her life, she was continuously listening to Kirtan. And an hour or so before leaving, she called us in and she said that I want to talk to you and told us that I don't know what is going to happen, but in case I leave, don't worry. And I've had a good life. Not all desires can be fulfilled, but I feel satisfied and very grateful that I received this life, that you all cared for me. I received so much love. And then she let us say our final goodbyes. She thanked us and then she said, now I want to rest. And Krishna was making beautiful arrangements for her, devotees praying, offerings to Lord Narasimha days, and so much happening. And then Bhakti Maharaj called her to encourage her and support her. He said that Shri Radha Krishna are taking you in their shelter. She said, Maharaj, I'm not afraid. And a few minutes later, she said, increase the volume of the Kirtan, and she left. Very grateful. Very grateful. So as it's a proof that Krishna rewards the devotee at the end. It's not even a reward, it's mercy that Krishna takes care of his devotees. So, it's a lot of
deeply touched. Everybody now speechless. So let us take Prabhuji and Mataji's this life very seriously, this opportunity very seriously, this occasion also very seriously, this festivals very seriously, or chanting very seriously, or association very seriously, this evening very seriously, this message very seriously, right? Because we also want to go back with no fear. Once Balgam Prabhu told me, when I asked him about leaving the body, what is your prayer? He told me, when I leave my body, I should go with a happy feeling. I should go that I've had a good time here. I should go with no fear. But that is a prayer. And that prayer is definitely fulfilled when we dedicate our life for service. Then we don't keep any attachments in this world. Any attachments in this world. If we keep, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yajñātano Punyatra Lokoyam Karma Bandhana Tadartha Karma Ponteya Mukta Sangha Samajana. If you have any bandha in this world, we'll come back. So on the day of Narasimha Chaturdashi, sorry to make it like a long program. Also wanted to announce few things. So next week we have His Grace